my beautiful co-creators of the New Paradigm. My name is Wieteke and thank you for visiting my channel. Today I'm coming to you from San Marcos, Guatemala, and I am at the magical lake of Atitlan, which is a very powerful vortex and such an amazing place to be. Literally, eagles are soaring in the sky right behind me. I hope they are somehow going to be in the video. I really hope so. They're so beautiful. So yes, what did I feel I wanted to share when I came up here? I climbed this hill with my video camera and I was like, wow, I so feel like sharing with all of you guys this beautiful, magical place, this moment and everything that I'm feeling here. So I've traveled quite a bit by now. I've seen Rishikesh in India, just to name one place. I've been all through India, but this is one, you could say, hotspot for people who are really eager to expand themselves, to dive deep and to explore. I've seen Rishikesh, I've been to Sedona several times in the United States, I've seen Glastonbury several times. So there are some spots on the earth, as we all know by now, or most of us know by now, that are considered to be vortices, that are power points, you could say. The energy frequency is very high there. They're all places where you could say that the veil is very thin, and that makes them excellent spots for exploring deeper within yourself. Now, that same thing is the case here. San Marcos is one of those spots. There is a big, wide variety of classes you can take in yoga and breathwork, and you can sing at a kirtan. There are so many things that you can do here. It's really beautiful, such a blissful and beautiful community. But as in any vortex place that I've visited so far, where people come together in that way, you will find both ends of the spectrum. So there is a lot of light, but there's also a lot of purging, a lot of, you could say, quote unquote, darkness coming up, or stuff that wants to be processed, that wants to be seen. For instance, I'm meeting up with some friends here, and some of them really went through quite a tough time with the recent lunar eclipse and the blood moon. As being in this place, and on top of that, seeing the eclipse from this location, it brought up so much in them, which is absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing. But that's something I want to talk about. So there is a polarity that seems to intensify as you get closer to the light. So the comparison that I always make when we're talking about this, when we're thinking about this, is the brighter the sun shines on a hot sunny day, the sharper and the more intense and the darker the shadows seem to be. So that's also something that energetically is unfolding in places like this. I kind of like it. I personally have, I get a kick out of this kind of like edgy thing that's going on all the time. It's like you have to put on your laser glasses, your X-ray vision, while you're in places like this, and be super aware of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, because instant manifestation, everything is happening very rapidly here, and you get very quick reflections of the things that are going on in the background. So if you're less aware of these things within your own being, sometimes the reflections can come in a little harsh. So just so you know, if you're planning to visit a vortex, this is something that is, you could say, quite likely to happen. I'm not gonna say this is exactly what's gonna happen. There is no such thing. There are no predictions of the future. It's not set in stone. It's not a standard rule. And even more so, paradoxically, if you expected this to happen, perhaps maybe it won't, because you are putting too much pressure on it. But for most people, and in general, I have seen this happen in vortex areas such as these. So it's very exciting, but it also can give people the feeling that they're kind of done with teachings and courses and workshops and digging and searching, and maybe they just want to have some, you could say, me time, some, you know, relaxation time. And I think that's really important too. So what I noticed is that A lot of people come to these places and they dive into all kinds of workshops and classes, and they forget often to take time to integrate all of these things. And this is so super important. Take some time, take a time out to have all of the things that you're taking in. Find a nice, solid place within your system. Expanding your awareness, your consciousness isn't something you do, in my opinion, it's something you allow to happen. And for that allowance to take place, it is really important to just be. And to find the proper balance between these two things is very, very important. So while I'm here, I'm taking a lot of me time actually, especially around that lunar eclipse that we just had. I was just making a little mini ceremony and being creative and singing and playing the guitar, and it was perfect. And other people maybe went to a big dance party with a fire and ceremonies over there, and that's perfect too. But I know of these people, some of that my friends that went there, that afterwards they took a day of just landing, and that's the beauty, and that's what I recommend and what I would say what I wish for everybody, that you gather the information you feel you need, and then you continue to scan yourself, to screen yourself, to feel when it's enough. And if that is the case for you in the middle of a 1-week workshop, take a day off or walk away. You're allowed to do that. You don't have to pressure yourself or push yourself beyond the boundaries of what your body already tells you is enough. And especially right now, I think since we are in a new age, it's very different than it used to be in the olden days when people were eager to explore their spiritual nature. They would, for instance, in most occasions, join a group or a movement or a religion, and they would go step by step through the plan and the system that that particular religion, for instance, had already thought out for them. So they would hold on to the, you could say, rules that were written for them. But this time is different because we are no longer limited to just a few pathways of exploration that are connected to most likely a religion like they were in the past. We can do so many things, and that abundance of pathways that we can walk also creates a new challenge for people, young people, any kind of people nowadays, that we have to choose. We have to make a decision. You have to listen even more carefully to that voice within yourself to figure out what it is that truly resonates with you. And of course, you can try out things and see what it brings you, but it's also okay to, change your mind. So this is what I really wanted to share today. I've seen people basically leave behind the Western life and their super busy agenda, really only to replace it with yet another really crazy schedule of following courses and workshops and teachings and gathering information here in a place like this, where you're also invited to be with you, to just be with you and to enjoy the silence and to enjoy nature and to reconnect with Gaia and to just be. And I really, really wanted to share that because, we see this so often, and it's such a beautiful invitation to discover more of yourself by being in the here and now and just being with yourself. So that's what I wanted to share. I wish you all so much love, and I will see you again in the next one. Ciao!